Hey there, boys and girls for Jesus. I still in my workout clothes from this morning, and just was kind of doing my study this morning, and kind of as I was studying and praying, just felt like I needed to jump on and just kind of talk about the events that happened yesterday at the Catholic Church in Minnesota. So I just finished kind of 7 vlogs, and in that 7 vlogs, I was really pointing out the schemes of the enemy. And the 7th video, actually, in my opinion, kind of somewhat summarizes or puts a kind of brings some things full circle. But what I wanted to point out today is that, this shooter, who, from what we can gather, is a transgender, and that the last several shootings have been, there's been several shootings that have been by either transgender or, whatever, people that have different pronouns or whatever. This is essentially Romans 1, which is the first video that I did, and then I built upon it, and then 7, and kind of wrapped them together, and I'll be building on all those in future videos. But because this, for a person to identify as trans, the first thing that has to happen is what happens in Romans 1. They have to deny creation, right? So God created them male, female, whatever. But Satan, the enemy, comes along and says, no, you're not that. You're something else. So that father of all lies, Satan, he's behind this, right? He's in that person's head, in their ear, whispering and saying, God made a mistake when he created you. And so that leads this person down to say, well, there is no God, or God's not perfect, or whatever. And so it begins this whole Romans 1 denial of who God was, denial of the creator. And so then you go through this, and the third stage of this is, which I want to speed up to because it's supposed to be a short, is that what I call the depraved mind state, okay? And that's where your mind is so far gone that what God says here, it says, and God gave them over to a depraved mind, this is verse 28 of Romans 1, to do those things which are not proper. Killing these children is not proper. How do you justify doing that? The only way you do that is by getting to this point. You're at this point. Well, how do you get to that point? Satan said he wasn't created in the body and image likeness that he thinks he was. And so he needed to change his gender. And, obviously the church has a position that is opposite of that, right? And so naturally he's going to take his anger, his frustrations out on the church. But anyway, it says, being filled with all unrighteousness, this is verse 29, wickedness, greed, evil, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, malice. They're gossips, slanderers, haters of God, insolent, arrogant, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, without understanding, untrustworthy, unloving, unmerciful. And although they know the ordinance of God, that those who practice such things are worthy of death, they are not only the same, but also give hearty approval to those who practice them. Again, approval is tolerance, right? They're giving tolerance to them. So there's some irony there, I guess, that I just completed this somewhat series, even though it's going to continue on. It's my faith journey. And in this, I pointed out, this is one of the schemes of the enemy, right? That you're somehow not good enough, or you didn't have to deny God's creation. And so here we are. And this is the result of what happens when we do that. So do I believe transgenderism is a mental disorder? Sure. But it's steeped in denying the existence of a creator, and that creator loves you, and he created you male, female, and he loves you just the way you are, that you're perfect the way he created you. There is, outside of that, this is what you get. So I know the mayor there doesn't want my thoughts and prayers, but my prayers are certainly with those families. This is pure evil, and the fact that this mayor would rather us be tolerant shows where his heart is. So, be safe out there. There's a lot of wickedness out in the world today. So I pray for all of you that you're safe, no matter what you're doing, where you're going. Be vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, and love you guys. Have a great day.